Hello. Today we will be ranking books that I've read over the summer. This summer I haven't read as much as I normally do, but that's okay. I've been busy with summer classes, getting in those extra credit hours. So first book is one that I got at Tallulah Falls, which I made a video about. You can check it out. I have not read it. I skimmed over like the first little bit, but it's the 2-ounce backpacker. It seems like it's more just like a manual rather than like a leisure book. I don't know how good it is. I'm not really a camper that much, and I'm just not. I mean, I like to hike, but I wouldn't call myself a hiker. So, but it's something I got. So Also, there will be 2 other books that I haven't fully read and or barely read, but the other ones I fully read. So, What We Are the Future by William McCaskill. This book is pretty hefty. It's about 310 pages, but it's very dense. It's a very dense book. It talks about long-termism and the idea that we should value future generations just as much as we value current generations. He's a moral philosopher, and he just starts to the book by explaining why future generations are as important as us, and then explaining how we might, like, how the world might end, and then also suggests, like, robustly positive things we can do in society today that will affect future generations in a good way. Things that we can do that will guarantee good things happening, because it's hard to predict the future, which he also spends the book explaining. This entire book is just convincing you of the idea that we need to make good choices now, what those good choices are, and how you can make those good choices. So, good book. I enjoyed it. Kind of hard it took like a month to read this one. It's not bad. It's not obtuse. It's just a lot. A little depressing too, but good read. I'd recommend it. Dracula. This is 420 pages. Not as dense as the other one, but I would say I read this one in a week. Dracula's a very, very good book. I don't think I need to explain the plot of Dracula to you. It's about a vampire named Dracula. But I would say I was genuinely surprised by the book. I tend to enjoy Victorian books, but I didn't think I'd like this one because it was, I thought it would get boring. I thought it would be a little too long-winded. Even though I like Victorian books, I thought this one in particular would be for some reason. But it wasn't. I really enjoyed it. The story does get kind of not boring. The story gets kind of drawn out at the 200-page-ish mark, and the other 200 pages, I feel like we didn't really even need them that much. We could have shortened that or just excluded it, or written another book about it. But at any rate, I like this book a lot, and I recommend it wholly, sincerely, with my whole heart. I recommend this book. Very good book. I'm very easily scared, and I wasn't that scared. I do remember the first part of this book, I did kind of get, when I went to bed, I was a little suspicious. There'd be, Count Dracula in my room or something. But again, I'm very easily scared. So, but I don't think this really is that much of a horror book, though it's a little disturbing, but not any more disturbing than Frankenstein was, if I'm being honest. So the next book I am currently reading, it is A Disgraceful Affair by Tolstoy or Fyodor Dostoevsky. I'm reading White Nights and A Disgraceful Affair, and then I think the other book in here is The Dream of a Ridiculous Man, and then there's Saint Louis of Palmyra. I'm not even through White Nights. I just started reading this book. I liked it a lot in the first few pages, but it's at a part right now where they're kind of yapping, but I feel like there's potential here. I really, really, really am hoping to hold on to this book because I actually think it'll be very good. I think this will pay off for me. I'm really excited for it. Right now, I'm bored on these last couple few pages, but I think it's gonna pick back up. Hoping. So excited for that. I'll probably give you that update in my next book review, which my first book review was a year ago, but I'm hoping I do this a little more consistently. Why Size Matters by John Tyler Bonner. So this book is about I didn't explain the last book because I haven't fully read it. But this book is about size and its relation to different animals and aspects of how they live their lives. It starts from the perspective that you're totally disagreeing with him. which he doesn't address that, he doesn't say that, but you can feel that he's trying to convince you of even the basic elements of his argument. I'll be honest, the argument is kind of convoluted. I don't really know what, I mean, like, it's just kind of a bunch of different arguments, not even arguments, just a bunch of different, like, little statements about why size matters in animals, like, how it affects animals. It's not really, like, one cohesive thing. I will say I learned a lot during this book. I think it's very interesting. I cannot say how accurate it is. Some of it feels a little kind of hand-wavy, like a little, and maybe that's just because I'm a physics person, well, physics major, and in biology is maybe a little more like, this trend kind of fits, and it's not as precise. You can't like prove things. You can explain them. Well, I guess same thing with physics. Ignore that analogy. I just think I'm more precise. Is what my thing is. I'm more like, I'd like an equation for it, and he gives these. This book is full of like charts and graphs and whatnot. It's a very short book, by the way. This is like a 1-day read. You can read this on a plane ride from New York to Florida. Don't know why I thought this was so long. But yeah, it's only about 100 so pages, and the pages are very not dense. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I learned, but I don't think it's very cohesive, and it was kind of hard to convince myself to read it. Also, I think the drawings are by his daughter. Some of them, at least. Drawings by Hannah Bonner. I don't know if that's his daughter. I'll have to look that up. I think it is. I think I looked it up once. But at any rate, I really enjoyed it. I think you'll learn a lot, assuming it's all accurate. But which I can't guarantee because, again, I'm not a biologist. But yeah. So then there's the Cossacks, which I have gotten like 30 pages into, and I don't like it that much. It's by Leo Tolstoy, so you got that wrote War and Peace, I believe. It's very, very easy to read, I thought, when I grabbed it at the library, and it's kind of convoluted. It's about a guy right now, and I'll explain this part of the story. It's about like a guy, it's a rich prince in Russia that is going off to Europe, or not Europe, to the Cossacks. Oh my god, he's already in Europe. To the Cossacks. I even forget why. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have to like pause and keep looking things up. And I like that in books that are larger, but this feels so like every like other sentence is a word I don't know. And so it's like I'm like I have to like pause, look it up, but like, you know, it's like it's not that it's a word I don't know because it's like too like, you know, like prolix, but it's just that it's like it's about a place in Russia. So I imagine if you're not Russian, and also it's the 1800s or so, I think sometime it's like, you know, not this century. It's like a different time and a very different place, and it's also a very like rural area in the Russiosphere. So like it's like I feel like I'm not gonna know that much about this, even as a history person. Like, but as an American born in the 21st century, it's kind of hard. I imagine even for people in this time living in Russia, it was kind of hard, because it's just a very, you know, it's you know, you're not familiar with any of this, but it is about 150 pages. I think this is like it's like a very recent English translation. I don't know. I'd like to read it again. I'd like to continue it. But that is what I read over the summer, or half of it, not really read, but half of it is the small books. It's fun. So if I were to rank them by how much you want you to read them, lowest, the manual, the backpacker. I didn't just got this at a freaking museum, so you know there's that. The Cossacks, I would say I'm less likely to enjoy this than a lot of books. I'm a little worried about it. White Knights, this shows promise. I'm really excited to keep reading this. And then now for my other half, which is my definitely my I have read and can recommend them. So Why Size Matters. Read if you're interested in like learning random stuff, but not if you're interested in a cohesive plot. This is a good nighttime book, I'd say, like before you go to bed. I know that because it's when I read it. What Will Be the Future? Also nonfiction, kind of obtuse. Very long and not convoluted, but very complicated. Well-researched, very well-researched. The acknowledgements for this book are insane. There are, look at this, here. Oh my god. Here's the notes. That's all the notes. It's like a significant person. I don't know. I'm just impressed by it, And I'm not saying everything in this book is true. I'm just saying I'm impressed by the amount of notes that there are. Because again, I don't know everything. Exercise judgment for yourself when you read things. Be wary of information. Dracula. I recommend this. I can say I recommend this. This I kind of recommend, and then why size matters I vaguely recommend. This I recommend. I think you should read this. I really enjoyed it. Especially if you're into Victorian literature, which I am. This was made in the 1890s, I think. So it's kind of the last half of that Victorian age, which I think was 1901 was the end. But yeah, read this. I can't believe you watched this whole video.